All right. Just because we want to make sure that we get everything right with our line work, we're breaking the line work up into a couple of videos. So we just got through basically using our tools, taking our tools and making things with them, and now we've taken the things that we've made and we've started to populate the room with them. Again, when you're populating the room, one thing you're going to want to make absolutely sure that you do as you're doing this line work is you're going to go from the back to the front. Things that are in the back should be on the bottom of your layers, and things that are overlapping all of those things, the closer they are to the viewer, or the things that are on top should actually be on top. They should be higher in the hierarchy here in your layers. So we've gone through the back wall and we've gotten that out of the way. Now let's move to the foreground. The foreground is a chair and a table with a lamp. There's also a coffee table with some stuff on it. So let's take a look and see how all of that is put together and how it's organized, specifically how it's organized in this hierarchy of layers here. First, there's the chair. So I drew this chair using this guy over here earlier. So we've got this in place. And then what I've done with the chair is I've actually added some pillows on top of the chair. And so if you can see those there, that's where they sit. The reason that the chair is here is because there's going to be a table that overlaps it here, and a table that is going to overlap the legs of the chair over here. So the chair does need to be in the background. Next, let's talk about the coffee table that's going to be here. We're going to build it from the ground up. So first we put on the legs, then we put on the table, then we put the things that are on the table, right? So we've got a tray, and the tray has a bit of a breakdown as well. I've decided I'm going to use the tray to collect, I don't know, tissues or napkins or garbage. So I've made a few little garbage balls. These don't have to conform to any particular perspective. They're just kind of there to add a little bit of visual interest. Next on the table, we've got a mug. So again, if I zoom in here, you can see, or perhaps surmise, I made this a lot larger, on a lot larger of a scale, and I scaled it way down. So I've got a plate that's, again, just a circle here, and then we've got circle, 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 and then a little bit of drawing added to it, and then I drew a spoon on there as well. All right, so we've got our chair, we've got our coffee table. This is really starting to look like a room. But again, just remember, with your line work, even though you've got your line work done, looking at it flat, it's almost impossible to tell what's in front of other things. And if you were going to do your line work, right, you're going to need to eventually do your fill work, and there are things that are going to be hidden by the fill work. So you definitely want to make sure that everything is, I know I've said it 50 times already, but you're definitely going to want to make sure that everything is in order. All right, let's look at this side table here. We've got a number of different things going on. First, we have our side table, and again, we've gone sort of with a contemporary classic view, style, I should say, of this room. So I've gone and just done a really kind of a simple, silly contemporary table here. And what are we going to put on it? The first thing that we're going to put on it is like a little frame. And we're going to also add a lamp. So we've got our foreground elements, our middle ground elements, and our background elements all in the same room. There's going to be a lot of challenge to this. Our next challenge coming up is just going to be doing all of the fill work. Then we're going to need to put in flat colors for our fill work. Then we're going to need to light our fill work. and then we'll finish this piece off. But as long as you have everything here organized, as long as you have everything in folders with layers, you can make this fairly complicated and you'll still be able to keep track of what it is that you're doing. Remember, professionals do take care when they need to. I won't say that professionals always take care to name their layers and stuff like that. It's a well-known trope within studio art that a lot of artists hate doing that. But it is a good practice. Everyone acknowledges that. And sometimes, especially when you're doing something like this, it's almost entirely necessary. So use the right tools for the right job, and sometimes the right tools is simply naming things. All right, so we'll stop here with the line work, and we'll move into fills next, and you'll get to see how all of those different fills interact now, now that we have everything in order.